Hey, this is Mr. Rossman. I'm going to help you out with making some graphs using Microsoft Excel on a computer. So if you're watching this video on an iPad, you're going to need to go get a laptop. So pause the video, stop it, go get a laptop and come on back. And when you're ready, we'll go through. So if you're on a laptop, you're good to go. First thing you need to do is open up the program called Excel. You might not see an icon for it on your desktop, but if you do, it'll look like this right here. If you don't see it, you're going to need to click the little start button down at the bottom here. Now, I have a feeling that when you click it, you might see something like this. Look for a little search bar. And in that search bar, type in the word Excel, E-X-C-E-L, and then click the result for Excel 2013. If you can't find it, or if you're just having trouble altogether, pause the video, go ask your teacher to help you open up Excel. And then once you get it opened, you can hit resume to keep on going. So let me open up here. I'll click on my icon. The program opens up, and then you should see a screen that looks like this. On this, you just want to click blank workbook to start from scratch. Okay, next we see this screen. This is called a spreadsheet. Excel deals with numbers. You can also put words and letters in here too, but primarily it's just dealing with calculations and helping you out with math, especially for what we're doing here today with creating graphs. So the first thing you want to do is enter your data. So you've probably asked some students with a survey some sort of questions and then gotten results for how many people said certain things. I'm going to use an example with favorite colors. So let's say I polled my class and I surveyed all of them asking them what their favorite color is. And my options were red, blue, yellow, or green. And I'll put my data in here for the number of students that said certain things. So let's say 3 students said red was their favorite, 7 said blue, 4 said yellow, and 5 said green. The next step is actually really easy. You just need to click with your left click and drag to select everything that you just entered. So click and drag and you'll see the selection box. You just want to select only the part that you entered. So your words and your numbers. When you have it selected correctly, you'll notice here that a little button appears with a tiny little bar graph. It's called the Quick Analysis button. It only appears if you have something selected. So if you haven't already, pause the video and then enter your data. Get to the point where you have everything on the screen, select everything, and then get this button to appear. And then once you have it, press play and to resume and see what's next. So now I'm going to hit Quick Analysis, and I'll see some different options here. There's a lot to click on, so listen carefully. The graphs are located in the Charts section. So click on Charts, and you'll see these 4 options. You see a clustered column. If I hover my mouse over top of it, sometimes you get to see a little preview, but right now it's not showing it. These are 3 options, but you can see a lot more if you click on More Charts. So then there are those 3 options. Here you can see a little preview of what it will look like. So here's a pie chart. This is a horizontal bar graph, and then a vertical going up and down. You probably want to click on All Charts up at the top here to see a lot more options. You get line graphs, you get area graphs, you get scatter plots, and a lot of different kinds of things. And some of these look pretty different if you change up the different options for each. But I'm going to stick with a bar graph for today. So they call it a column graph if it goes up and down, or a bar graph if it goes left to right. So you just need to pick one that you want. And then when you have that, you see a lot of different kinds of graphs up at the top. So here, I'll go through and just kind of show you the different ones. These ones are 3D. This one's very 3D. This one is even more 3D. So I'm going to just keep it simple for now. And I'll go with the standard column called the clustered column. And then I'll say the one that I want to do. And then I'll say, OK. That will make my graph for me. I don't have to do anything. It does everything for you, which is really nice. A couple things. After you have your graph made like this, notice here that up at the top, my colors and my votes are still there. Watch what happens if I change this. So let's say I accidentally wrote 3. I wanted it to be 7. That bar graph just grew a little bit. So blue, 10. Watch the blue bar graph now over here when I make it a 10. There it goes. It adjusts accordingly. And if this top value is 12, watch what happens if I turn this to 15. The numbers changed to fit everything. So it's really neat, and it does everything for you, which is nice, so you don't have to do all that hard work. If you click your graph, you'll see 3 buttons over here. So first of all, if you don't have a graph yet, pause the video and make a graph. So that way you can work along with me. All you need to do is enter your data, select it, right click it, do all of that. And remember, you can rewind this video at any point to re-listen to anything that I'm saying here. So it would be best if you kind of make your graph along with me. So that way you can practice with your own information. So back to what I was saying here, if you just click on this, watch what happens if I click the paintbrush. The paintbrush here, I see some different chart styles. If I just hover my mouse over top of them, I can see what they'll look like. If you're going to be printing this, I probably would say don't use the black one. You don't want to use all the ink in the school. But click one that you like. So let's go with this one that's gray. I'll do that. And then you can click on color to change up the colors to get something that you like. And if you spend more time, you could probably get the colors to match if you wanted to do the exact colors that you were doing. Now, another thing you can do is click this and click the plus sign. Notice here that these numbers, if anyone was looking at this graph, they wouldn't really know what this information means. 15 what? 4 what? 10 what? So I'm going to hit plus, and then I'm going to say, let's go with axis titles. Check that box. So now I get a little text box here where I can select this information. And this is what? Students, because I asked students what their favorite colors were. Now, someone looking at my graph knows that these numbers correspond to the number of students that said these colors. And I would want to call this colors down at the bottom. All right. Chart title is not a very good title. So we want to change it to favorite colors. So now my bar graph is 100% complete. It's got a title, it's got labels, and it's got all of my information. Again, watch what happens if I change this. Even after I changed all the colors and everything, that bar graph just grew a little bit. If I make it a 9, it'll continue to grow. So all of this will adjust based on you changing all of this. Another thing, looking back at the plus sign, you do get a couple other options in here. You might want to play around with these, but you don't need them. Depending on what kind of graph, you can just hover your mouse over top of these, and it will kind of give you a preview of what it will look like if you check it. If you right-click your graph, let's say you have this bar graph and you decide you wanted to change it to a pie graph or change it to another kind of bar graph. If you right-click it, there's an option to change series chart type. And if I click that, I see this screen again where I'm selecting all of the different kinds of graphs. So let's say now I want to do a 3D one. This one's really awesome looking. So I'll go with that and then say OK. Everything that I changed before, like the axis titles and the colors and all of the title and all of that, it's still there. It just gave me a new style. So this one's in 3D, which is really neat. Okay, so that's the basics of creating a graph with Excel. If you have any questions, ask your teacher, and then your teacher can ask me for help, or just rewatch this video. The best thing to do is to play it, pause it, rewind it, rewatch it a couple times, and work along with it. So that way you can kind of have me there, right, helping you as you do all of your work. So good luck and have fun making graphs with Excel.